Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have any audio for this morning? I'm hoping. Yes, we do. Thank you. Hello, everybody. This is Marilyn, and it's time for the noon edition of Welcome to My World. This is the 15th of August, and it is a Monday. So, how's everybody doing this morning? Is everybody good? I hope so. It's August and the summertime. We've had some pretty nice moves for August summertime. I'm kind of surprised because mostly August can be real boring. But this morning, all of the indices picked up. It looks like TF and NQ were the leaders, and ES for some reason was the one that didn't get quite so carried away this morning. But they have all had some nice moves. Crude oil has been in a steady trend up. Crude oil had a pretty big line in the sand at around 45, 40-ish, and it has broken that a couple times. It's going to be interesting to see if it closes above there today, because if it does, then it will likely break this big sell zone that's sitting up here above it, and this is a significant, big, fat, wide sell zone up here. I doubt if that's going to happen today because it's trended pretty well this morning. But the other big move this morning has been in bonds. Bonds had a big sell-off this morning, and it looks like that might be about done. The pit closes them on bonds in about an hour and a half. It's at 1:30. I think it's 1:25. I'm not, but I just after 1 o'clock I would no more take a bond trade than fly to the moon. Anyway, and there's really not enough time, even if you did take one at 1 o'clock. You'd need some serious volume for the bus driver to have enough gas in his bus to make you profitable before the pit closes, and then the volume typically will drop off significantly. So we've got people calling these mini magnets. I'm not sure how close we are to turning this thing loose, but this really does show us where the mini magnets are. And I noticed on crude oil there was a whole bunch of them right around a deviation level and a power line and the high of last session. So, you know, these things are all really kind of nice barriers to have on your charts, because the markets will generally move off of those one way or the other. And crude oil right here tested this whole level at 3 times. Once right here about 9:50, again right here about 10:02, and again right here about 10:15. And from there, this choppy little this kind of stuff works on just about any market too. This choppy little thing right here. If you're looking at something like this, yes, it can break this southbound, no question about it. But this is where, once it's tested a certain level, that third test, it will generally break to one side or the other, since it's way above settlement, which is down here. then I would be inclined to think that it was going to break out of here northbound. If it were below settlement, that would be something else and not red, but we had green apexes well above settlement, and we'll see if it gets up here. This is, let's see, right about 45.90-ish marks the beginning of this this is a strong sell zone up here. And of course it gets you into the 1.5 deviation level. Those deviation levels, keep in mind, the higher you go to the north side and the lower you go to the south side, then your probability of a continuation, and especially a strong continuation, drops way, way, way off. There's a little chart somewhere on the forum that Daryl put in there that lists what the probabilities, if you get to 1 deviation, what are the probabilities of it moving up? And if you get to the 1.5 deviation level, it drops down significantly. And at 2, and I've seen crude oil and I have seen bonds go to the 3. But it's done. If it gets that far into outer space, the probability of it moving beyond that is less than 1%. So, in other words, don't trade it up there or down that low. We've got the VIX right now is trading 1165. It's been hanging right around this 11 half-ish mode for several days. And gold is chopped around a little bit this morning. When these things move off of settlement one way or the other with volume, it's normally a pretty good trade, but gold hasn't had a heck of a lot to give anybody this morning. So anyway, let's see. We're still in earnings season. I would suggest that you always check, especially if you trade YM. Check to see when there's only 30 stocks that are going to affect the YM. But sometimes they announce those earnings, and some of those those are big. That's a big deal when those stocks, the companies, put their earnings out. So if YM is in your core trading world, keep a list of those 30 stocks right in front of you in earnings season so you can double check when they're going to announce the earnings, because sometimes it is before the market opens, and it can affect YM at the open significantly. So tomorrow we're going to have, for the early bird crowd, there's numbers that will affect the euro at 5 o'clock in the morning, and that's Eastern time. 8:30 we've got U.S. and Canadian numbers, and those will be pretty big ones because it's the CPI and the housing starts. At 9:15 we have more U.S. numbers, and then the big things on Wednesday are going to be, besides crude oil inventory, which we have every day, but Wednesday we'll have the Feds are going to release their minutes from their last meeting of dithering. So we'll see what happens with that. I was sure glad to see the Cajun comedy team in here this morning. I understand there's been significant weather that's affected the Louisiana area. Really scary kind of stuff. We've got apex people literally all over the country. So if you if you're in an area like that, there's bound to be Apex people are always willing to jump in and help Apex people. So let us all know if you need any resources. There's plenty of resources at Apex, believe me. So anyway, let's see. Do I have any questions in here? Yes, the crude oil inventory is every Wednesday at 10:30, with the exception of holidays that fall on a Monday, and they will move that to typically Thursday. So any Monday holidays, and those are things like Labor Day or the Memorial Day weekend, something like that. Those are usually Monday becomes the holiday. So I think that's about it. If you have any questions, Lori's not going to be doing her. She's not going to open the conference room today. So maybe later this week. And I think that's about all. Anybody, especially if you're new, this room is specifically for asking questions and posting your charts. Just use Jing. It's a freebie. If you don't know how to use it, that too is on the forum. It's a freebie. It takes less than 3 minutes to learn how to use it. And you will use it over and over and over because it maintains a library for you of all your screenshots. So it's valuable to you even if you don't post your charts. But if you will post your charts and ask your questions so we can all see what it is you're trying to ask us, somebody in here is always willing to jump in and help. If you ask a question and you don't get an answer in a reasonable amount of time, by all means, ask it again. Somebody just didn't see it because nobody is sitting here monitoring the chat in here and that's all they have to do. All of us are trading. So it may be that we just all got really busy right then and nobody happened to see it, and then of course it more chat comes in and pretty soon it's disappeared. So yes, thank you, Kelly. Kelly's pointing out in the chat that lots of times, especially for the new people, it's really helpful. Lori will open the conference room. She's just not available to do that today. And you can all go in there and believe me, at Apex, if you feel a little overwhelmed and you're new here, trust me when I tell you, every single person in this whole thing has been right where you are 1,000 times. So it's the nature of the beast, especially when you first